In a world full of mysteries and questions, Albert Einstein's star rose to change our understanding of the universe. He showed a special passion for science and mathematics from a young age. His early childhood was filled with curiosity and exploration, which shaped the beginnings of his genius. In this episode, we will take you on a journey through time, back to the beginnings of Einstein's life. What was his childhood like? What factors shaped his personality and research? How was his scientific career influenced by his family and teachers? Join us as we discover the full story of this brilliant mind that revolutionized the world of physics and scientific thinking. We will never forget his famous phrase while receiving the Nobel Prize. I thank the Nobel Foundation for awarding me the prize. After many years of painstaking research, I have verified the validity of the ideas related to the optical quantum. Also, scientific research in itself, regardless of any practical application, is one of the highest to which one can devote one's energies. With this phrase, Einstein said, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I spend more time solving problems." Albert Einstein, the genius who changed our understanding of the universe. But how did his scientific journey begin, and what shaped his personality and research? Let's go back to the beginning. Albert Einstein, a name that speaks of genius, and a person who changed our understanding of the universe forever. But every great story has a beginning, and every great mind has roots. How did Einstein's scientific journey begin? And what were the factors that shaped his personality and his revolutionary research? Let's go back in time to the first moments that lit the spark of curiosity in the mind of this genius. In a world that was still crawling in understanding the laws of nature. Since his childhood, he showed signs of curiosity and rebellion against traditional ideas. A small compass that his father gave him was the first thing that amazed him, and this curiosity soon turned into an endless passion for the secrets of the universe. But the road was not paved with roses. At school, Einstein faced difficulties due to a strict educational system that did not suit his unique mind. However, he found his refuge in mathematics and physics, where he began to build his own ideas away from traditional restrictions. This is the humble beginning of a man who later became an icon of modern science. Let's embark together on a journey in which we explore how Einstein's mind was formed and how these beginnings laid the foundation for his theories that I changed the world. Einstein used to ask many questions about the universe and conduct experiments inside his mind. Einstein lived as a genius by consensus of all scientists of his time and reached the highest levels of scientific glory. Unlike many scientists who died without enjoying the pleasure of success and brilliance. For example, the scientist Mendel, who established the laws of inheritance, as well as the scientist and physician Ibn al-Nafis, who discovered the circulatory system in the human body, and other examples. As for Einstein's genius, it was of a different kind. No one understood anything about his theory of relativity or its applications, but everyone acknowledged its logic. The special theory of relativity came to inform scientists and change the known concepts of physics. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879 in Germany, in a small city called Ulm. A year later, his family moved to Munich. His father owned an electrochemical factory. His mother was a music lover, and he had a sister who was a year younger than him. Einstein was late in speaking and loved silence, thinking, and contemplation. He did not like playing like his peers. He did not like the school system and the method of education in it, which confines the student to a narrow scope and does not leave him room for creativity and showing his potential. His father gave him a small compass on his 10th birthday, which had a profound effect on him. With its magnetic needle, which always points north and south, this child concluded after deep contemplation that space is not empty and that there must be something in it that moves objects and makes them rotate in a certain pattern. In his youth, Einstein was interested in physics and mathematics. He excelled in them at home, not at school, and found pleasure in geometry and solving its problems. His biggest problem was that he had to study languages and humanities, which do not give free rein to thought, but rather memorize them to obtain a certificate. He often embarrassed his mathematics teachers for his superiority over them, and one of the teachers expelled him from school, saying to him,
"Your presence in school destroys the students. Respect for me."
He then traveled to join his parents in Milan after they left him due to financial problems in Munich and enrolled there in the Polytechnic Institute. But he failed all the entrance exams except for mathematics. So, the director of the institute advised him to study a diploma in one of the cities of Switzerland, so that after a year, he could enroll in the Polytechnic. In 1901, Einstein was 21 years old, and after a long struggle to get a job to live from, he got a job in the patent registration office in Bern. He read many of the works of scientists and philosophers and did not like their writings, as he described them as superficial and far from the intellectual depth he was looking for. In 1905, Einstein developed many theories during his work in the patent registration office that made 1905 a revolutionary year in the history of the world. The results of his theories attracted the attention of physicists in all Swiss universities, which demanded that he change his position from writer to professor at the university. In 1909, he was appointed head of theoretical physics at the University of Zurich. He then moved to the German University of Berg in 1910 to occupy the same position. But he was forced to leave in 1912 because his wife refused to leave Zurich. In 1905, Einstein published 4 scientific papers. The first on the interpretation of the photoelectric effect, the second on the Eberonian motion of molecules, the third on the nature of space and time, and the fourth on the dynamics of the movement of individual bodies. The last 2 papers were the basis for the special theory of relativity, which resulted in the energy equation, E equals mcp squared. By converting an infinitely small mass, it was possible to obtain enormous energy, nuclear energy. In 1921, Einstein won the Nobel Prize for discovering the law of the photoelectric effect, which puzzled the scientists of his time. After that, he laid the scientific foundations for many modern fields in physics, namely, the theory of special relativity, the theory of general relativity, quantum mechanics, and the theory of the unified field. To this day, scientists are unable to imagine how Einstein arrived at these theories, especially since the experiments that are being conducted so far confirm the validity of Einstein's theories. He publishes approximately 1,000 research papers annually on the theory of relativity.
I can't imagine how Einstein came up with this theory. It's amazing.
Yes, it's a matter of admiration and imagination.
His theory of relativity is so puzzling that it was very difficult to imagine it at that time.
After that, Einstein continued to travel between countries of the world, from France to Spain, to Palestine, to China, and to Japan. He won the Nobel Prize in 1923, which was presented to him by the King of Sweden. After that, he settled in Berlin, and visitors from all over the world came to him and enjoyed his talk and meeting him until 1929, when he reached the age of 50. He decided to disappear from sight, and no one knew where he lived. Einstein was a lover of peace and hated war. On April 18th, 1955, in the city of Preston, that genius died. People began talking about Einstein again, and universities competed to monopolize that man's brain, hoping to examine it to uncover the secrets of his genius. Einstein lived in his imagination in another world in which he had his ecstasies and rosaries. Music was his only way to vent his overwhelming anger, and the universe was, for him, a stage from which he extracted wisdom, so he delved into its deep dimensions. Thus, we have summarized the life of the legend of the 20th century and the most important discovery of relativity. Einstein's legacy remains present in every aspect of modern science. His contributions not only transformed our understanding of the universe, but also inspired generations of scientists and thinkers. Through his revolutionary theories, such as special and general relativity, Einstein redefined concepts of time, space, and gravity, opening new doors for scientific exploration. Even today, scientists continue to confirm the validity of his theories.
We hope that peace and harmony will prevail all over the world. Please listen to Einstein's important message so that you may live in peace.
Leaders and rulers of the world, I am Einstein, the man who dedicated his life to understanding the laws of the universe. I speak to you today, not as a scientist, but as a human being who fears for the future of our planet. With my mind, I have seen what nature can do when it is exploited, and what humanity can do when it forgets its own humanity. As I once said, the world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing. Today, you are in a position to do something, to change the course before it is too late. Your responsibility is not only to your people, but to all of humanity and the future generations who will inherit this planet. The world we live in is a complex and delicate system, much like the equations I spent my life trying to solve. Every action you take or fail to take has consequences that ripple across time and space. Climate change is not a fantasy, war is not a solution, and social inequality is not an inevitability. These are the truths you must confront now, before it is too late. Remember my words. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. If you want a stable world, you must think differently, innovate, and cooperate. Science has given us the tools, but wisdom will determine how we use them. I once warned, I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. These are not just words. They are a dire prediction of what could happen if you continue to play with fire. Nuclear weapons, climate change, environmental destruction. These are existential threats that require urgent action. And I add to this my other statement. I don't know how World War III will be fought, but I know that World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. This is not just a warning. It is a cry for help from a dark future if you do not take the necessary actions now. Yet, I believe that humanity has the capacity to change. As I said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, but imagination encircles the world. So, imagine a world where cooperation replaces conflict, where sustainability replaces exploitation, and where justice replaces oppression. This world is possible, but only if you make it a priority. I know the challenges are great, but remember my words. In the midst of difficulty lies opportunity. Every crisis you face is also an opportunity to rebuild, to rethink, and to create a better world. Investing in renewable energy, promoting education, fighting poverty, and protecting the environment. These are not options, they are necessities. As I once said, the life of the individual has meaning only insofar as it aids in making the life of every living thing nobler and more beautiful. Your decisions today will determine the fate of millions, even billions of people. Will you choose to be part of the problem or part of the solution? I leave you with these words. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving forward. Be the generation that moves forward, that changes the course before it is too late. The world is watching, and history will not forgive you if you fail. But if you succeed, you will be heroes, not only for your time, but for all ages to come. And finally, always remember, the universe is not hostile, nor is it friendly. It is simply indifferent. It is up to you to decide whether you will use the laws of nature for the benefit of humanity or against it.
I hope that the world leaders have understood the content of the message and the meanings that the scientist Einstein referred to.
Do not rule the world with fear and power, but lead it with wisdom and compassion. Science without humanity is merely a tool.
And apply them in fields like astrophysics, satellite technology, and even our daily lives. Einstein was not just a scientist. He was a symbol of creativity and thinking outside the box, always reminding us that imagination is the true force that drives humanity toward great discoveries. If the facts don't fit the theory, change the facts. The hardest thing for the mind to understand is the income tax. Culture is what remains after you have forgotten everything you learned in school. Imagination is more important than knowledge. It encompasses the world. I don't know with what weapons they will fight World War III, but the weapons of World War IV will be sticks and stones.
Facts don't fit the theory. Change the fact. The hardest thing for the mind to understand is the income tax.
While you are enjoying watching, Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the share button so that you receive everything new.